Arif Ansar from PoliTact. How would the Iran nuclear deal and the Camp David summit help or hinder the Middle East peace process? Thank you.
That's a big question.
Look, in the short term, with a right-wing government about to be sworn in Israel, that will surely not have as its joint platform amongst the coalition parties a commitment to a two-state solution based on the 67 lines. I don't think that we're going to see a kind of inside-out approach in which there's a willingness in the face of growing threats in the region to say, oh, stupid, obviously the problem is the Israeli-Palestinian issue and we need to resolve that and everything else will be fine. Those days are past. So, I don't imagine that we're going to see some response coming from the Israeli-Palestinian dynamic, which the hope is that it doesn't get worse, rather than that it's going to lead to negotiations. And the Iran deal is clearly a preoccupation of Prime Minister Netanyahu, and he is going to be fully engaged in trying to prevent the deal from going forward over the next few months, and that will affect the character of the relationship between the United States and Israel, with the United States being the putative mediator, honest broker in an Israeli-Palestinian negotiation. So let's just say that the prospects, independent of what else is going on, the prospects for an Israeli-Palestinian deal for the time being are not good. The question is whether there's some kind of outside-in dynamic that can be created as a result of the Iranian nuclear deal. And that arises because Israel and Saudi Arabia and the Gulf states are on the same side when it comes to a real concern about Iran's regional ambitions and Iran's nuclear ambitions. And of course, it's not just Iran, it's also Assad and it's Hezbollah and it's Hamas. So there's a real sense of common threat and a real sense of common interest. Can that be parlayed into greater cooperation, first against security threats, and that would be done under the radar, but into a greater sense that if Israel were prepared to move forward on a two-state solution, the Arabs of the Gulf and Egypt and Jordan would be willing to play a more assertive role in helping the Palestinians to make peace. That's a question that might actually emerge with a positive answer down the road as a result of this strategic alignment in the region, which is something new and something, I think, in strategic terms, fairly profound between Israel, the Gulf Arabs, Egypt and Jordan.